So, hmm. Hey, listen. So we are back with another Study Monday. Hey, Atsuki. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah. It's not long now until it's industry workshops. Hey, Concept Sam. How are you, man? Ooh, I was so tired over the weekend. I just didn't do anything. Well, except kind of hung out with my brother. He came for the day, which was really nice. But yeah, I'm trying lately to kind of just hang out, which is important as well to reload. But now I know we're gonna be busy for a period, so that's that's one of the reasons why I also don't do a lot because now I know it's gonna be busy. So I'm making sure that I have the energy. Hey, just honest. Good morning. Happy Monday. Hey, Algani, how's it going? Yeah, I was thinking I should swap it around so that you guys can see it. Hence, that's why I'm on this side of the screen. Erika, yeah. Still life study today. Um, and I'm gonna share the URL if anyone wanna do it as well. Hey Sharta and Zialin, how's it going? Good morning. I hope everyone's weekend was fantastic. Hello, Georg. So this this warm up on this study, I'm gonna try. I want to just focus on the mood, like how to nail the sensation of what I'm looking at, um, with all those lost edges and stuff. So that's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun. The reference isn't perfect by any means in terms of sharpness. Um, so it's gonna have to. You're gonna have to kind of improvise a bit and kind of guess what's happening in the reference. But it's gonna be interesting to do. I think it's nail polish. Uh, 3 bottles of nail polish. What it looks like. Yeah, the the paint you put on your nails for the girls. Hey Bruno Romanus, Isra, how's it going? Kilrathi, Oms, and Quentin, superstars in the chat. Anyways, for anyone want to do the study with me, there's the reference. I'll try to nail the feel and mood, and the highlights is going to be something I want to look at. I want to make sure that I control the value range so those highlights it feels hot and sharp, right? Not smooth gradient. Eric. I knew that comment would come. Hence why I said for the girls and in that way, And Brandon, cheers for the auto host, even though you're not here. All right, let's do it. Let's start the timer. Let's do the study. So, guys, what did you think about whoever were here on Friday? What did you think about my chat on Friday with Spiridon? I found it quite interesting. I think the idea of it is quite tantalizing. You know, like it has lots of potential. Hey, Lariv, how's it going? You missed most of it? Ah, you liked it? All right, that's cool. Mm. Isra, well, I announced that I joined forces with a platform called Firestarter. They have a community magazine called Firestarter Magazine. Exciting name. Uh, but it's the idea is that it's a platform for us by us, not to be any competitor to any already established places, but more like a platform that helps us all um, to showcase whatever we're working on. You know, like how to explain it. I guess it's like the temperature of the industry. I guess you know, like you. The idea is that you can go there and see what's happening, and if there's any new workshop, or if there's any new Gumroad, or if there's anything, you know, some cool interview, some artist saying something great on Facebook. Like it's so it's more like a community thing, I guess. So I thought I joined those guys. So we had now the warm up people. We have our own section of the forum. Um, because I think that one of the downsides with Discord, I think Discord is great in terms of communication, like this free Skype type thing, right? We can all just go there together and we can chat with each other, and it becomes really responsive, right? We can have discussions. Um, but one bad thing about the Discord is that it's uh, much like Facebook, it's lost in time in the sense of in a wall of text, right? There's no hierarchy, and people that join the Discord are the only people that can see the Discord and what's happening and all the cool stuff. That's you know, I have yet to figure out how to do it, but I wanna, to some degree, have us active on the forum of the Firestarter forum. But I've yet to figure out the great recipe of, you know, like how that should go about. So at the for the time being, I'm just updating the website forum, the Firestarter section that we have, as well as 30minutewarmup.com and all that. But I wanna figure out like the best recipe there. So if anyone has any ideas, I'm all ears. Hey, Captain Baus. Israel, yeah, you can't sort by date. Ricky. Well, hey, Jacob. What up? Banana. Um, well, not really, because because on the forum, it's anyone. You don't need to be registered to go in there. But on Discord, you need to actively like join the Discord in order to see the posts and what's happening there. And like random Joe doesn't seek out our like warm up Discord and go like, oh, I wonder what these artists are up to. You know, that's the only downside of the Discord. The Discord is great as it is. You know, like we are very active there. We're talking, we're helping each other. Uh, but for the time being, all that good stuff is locked behind doors in the sense of you have to join the Discord in order to take a part of it, you know. And unfortunately, the exposure that you might have of like random people stumbling onto your art is limited because random people won't join the Discord, you know, which is a bit which is the annoying part of Discord, right? It's this fantastic little bubble. Just honest. Like I said, I don't know the finer details of how I'm gonna do it. Um, I think Discord, as it is a great tool. I don't see anything negative in that way with it. Like I don't think we should stop using the Discord. The Discord is a great day-to-day stuff. You know, like oh, I just want to pop through on the Discord and see who's writing anything. You know, is there any cool discussions happening or whatever. I think that aspect is fantastic of the Discord, and the a forum is great. Like I don't even know how to categorize it or make sense of it. Hence my problem with like what's their plan to proceed. I definitely don't want to lose the Discord. The Discord is great, but as with all things, you got to find its place, right? The forum is also a great thing. I think we should definitely use the forum to our advantage. Like who of us comes up with an idea that uh, you know will will gain the traffic. You know, at the moment, it's all in very early days. This forum and this platform, um, but the idea is great. The industry is behind it because a lot of sponsors and so on. Um, they do want us to, you know, the idea of a community-based platform where everyone's hard effort is shared equally so that if you do something cool it will be shown and there's no the idea is that there shouldn't be any like special treatment for like oh I'm your client and so you get the exposure, right? The idea is that it's for us by us, right? And there's a lot of people interested in that, companies as well, to be able to showcase that they are for the community as well. So they don't shy away from sponsoring people with free gear or um, licenses for a program. So it's all of that is in the making, you know, and together, we together we'll be strong. But it's true. There is no like really platform for the community at large. There's always like the ArtStation platform, the DeviantArt platform. Someone did a great post on that platform, whatever. And the idea is that Firestarter, uh, the magazine, is uh, being handed out at all major events for free, which like showcases what everyone has been up to. And then the forum aspect, the community aspect, which is not just a forum but articles and podcasts and all these things, um, should be made by us for us as well, without special preferences, things like that. Except whoever shoulders the responsibility to do the, let's say, the podcast, obviously they want to do their best and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's an interesting idea. Bruno Romanos, yeah, exactly. Kilrathi, the forums is you just there's a button for it. So Firestarter, the website firestartermagazine.com, like it has all the articles and events and so on and blah blah blah, and then there's the forum, and then you have you make an account, you can have all these things in there, and then here's the forums, sketchbook threads if you want to start showcasing what you're sketching, activity you can see there. Here's the warm-up stuff, here's our section. So in here is going to be every day, every episode categorized, and if you want to comment you can comment and have discussions and share, so on, and the sketchbook threads. I can't click that, interesting. um, you can just make it yourself, start growing together. I think that's a cool idea. Yeah, just honest, I will try to get a bot in here. Eric Ricky, yeah, exactly. Exactly, concept Sam. Jacob Mobley, do you think I'll just word it, your question, right? Do you think the concept art illustration field is the most saturated it's ever been in modern times? I wonder if we've hit just an oversaturated point where the constant posting of everyone makes everyone somewhat less important. Not sure. Um, yeah, whatever. Awesome. I think so. I think in terms of amount of artists that are joining the industry, there's definitely a lot of that. There's a lot of saturation going on. The skill level is obviously rising because there's more and more people interested in the trade. Um, but in terms of average artists, the kind of the midfield is growing. The standouts are always, it's gonna always be the same because some people are gonna give up, some people are just gonna do just good enough of a job and don't have the drive or urge to excel, to master the trade. Um, so it's always down to who's the most hungry in terms of uh, skill level, right? I just see that I've completely messed up the bottle. So in that way, as an artist, you shouldn't be worried. Like, how many chefs aren't there in the world that cook food? And those who don't get hired by the biggest company, there's always an option of starting your own kitchen. And then it comes down to how good of a chef are you, and maybe you'll come up with your own style of cooking that'll become the standard of whatever. You know, it's always stuff like that that's gonna happen. It's always down to how good are you and how driven are you. And a lot of artists, you know, let's say chefs, they go get hired by one of the best restaurants in the world, and then they learn all the tricks they from other established people, and then they go do their own stuff, or they stick around to become the head chef or whatever. You know, there's you got to see it from that point of view, right? So if you're going to be an artist, you have to realize that uh, where you are in the evolution of yourself, and understand that, you know, average, you know, like a cook, there's people in the restaurant business that are happy to just be a cook. I'm the sauce guy in a average chain. You know, they're happy there. They don't want to be the best in the world in whatever. And then, you know, that's their goal. Their goal is to just be there, and that's good. They get cash. They can go do whatever they want, and that's fine with them. And nothing is wrong with that. The one thing that I think is the problem with a lot of artists, and now how we're like, let's say ArtStation, there's so many artists you don't know where to look. There's no one really um, saying what's good or bad in any larger terms, right? There's always just who gets the most traffic gets flagged on uh, main page or whatever. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's great for the community. That's great for the people working. It's great for everything, you know. But I don't know where I was going with that. It's just this weird state the industry is in, and I don't think it's oversaturation. I think it's too many people are posting shit that doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, I'm doing warm ups and posting them, and but they don't matter in that terms. Like I don't have the illusion that the warm ups is of any excellence. I don't have any illusions that they'll change the world, or even in some odd ways the me as an artist, as a brand. It is practice, and I'm sharing the practice just publicly, and and I think a lot of people, they post a lot of art while they're learning, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great, but you also have to remember that no one really cares about it until you reach a certain point. And a lot of people who's in the same position, they obviously care about it as well, and they love that you are also struggling, and they give you props and respect and pat your back and so on, and that's great. But definitely there's saturation because there's a lot of influx in more people wanting to be part of the industry. So it's just more noise, and that noise clears up the more skilled you get, and then you leave that noise behind, right? You can see it when you start cultivating you as an artist. Um, like as I see it, um, hey, Ben Winfield Art, by the way, thanks for the follow. I didn't, I heard it's a bleep, but I didn't look. Thank you for the follow. It's very appreciated. Hey, Carl Springer, how's it going, man? Welcome back. Thank you, Ben Winfield. Glad to have you. Jacob Mobley, yeah, exactly. But also, you don't need to always be a storyteller in that sense that your job is going to be have to come up with a narrative or tell a story in that sense. But like as a concept artist for production, you have to be a storyteller too, in terms of caring and have structure to what you're doing and structure to the character you're designing. In that way, you have to be a competent storyteller, but not necessarily like Guillermo del Toro, like, but with pencil. You can just be the guy that constructs the character with narrative, emotion, or emphasis. Like, why are you drawing it? So it needs to have an impact, and it needs to communicate something, right? You can't just do the motions and practice the motions, because that's study, that's practice, and that is nothing wrong with practice, but it's just practice. And in a weird way, I'm all over the topic today. By the way, I'm even struggling myself to keep a thread going here, but I'm gonna try to kind of make sense of it. How to put it in words? Because of the saturation of artists in the industry, a lot of it comes down to like how able are you to mimic. Is that actually what I want to try to say? Kinda. uh, it comes in a way. It comes down to like how close can you mimic the leading artists, like the quote unquote masters, right? It's a lot of that going on, but the reason why I brought that up, it might sound weird, but the old traditional art world, a lot of it came down to you being an apprentice and you learning from a really established artist that teaches you their process technically, but also they let you know their thoughts and reasoning and sense of subject framing, all these things. That's just not the technical aspect of art, but the actual philosophy, their philosophy behind art. Or it used to be that you were attracted to an artist because you shared the same thoughts, or you wanted to learn from them, right? So that you kind of, to the point, you became them until a point where you were taught all the things you needed to be taught, and then you could move on and build your own thing, right? And if you look at the art industry now, it's like 57 Gumroad tutorials, and people teaching shouldn't even be teaching, most of them. And it's, like I said, just becomes this noise, right? There's no structure to it. There's no hierarchy. There's no passing on of correct knowledge or ideology or mannerism or stuff like that, right? It sounds like I'm on such a high horse. My apologies. But hopefully you guys understand what I'm like trying to communicate. That like Jacob was talking about oversaturation. I think it's just there's a lot of pointless art that people just wanna match something that they deem is the standard, or I don't know. There's no who are you as an artist anymore. And those who do figure that out and lean on that and love what they're doing and continue what they're doing, they become the standouts. They become the Ian McCaig's, they become the Simon Stålenhag, all these things, like, oh wow, someone is actually trying to say something with their art, right? And everyone was like, wow, that looks cool and unique. Where's all the cool and unique art? Each and every one of us is an artist. but it comes to a point where, like I said, like you go to a master in traditional sense, in the traditional media, and learn from them to the point where you've learned all they know, and then you have to leave them and go and become your own master. And then in terms later on, if you stick to it, you then take an apprentice that they mimic you, and then they leave and they become better at their stuff than you, and so on and so on. That kind of push of quality is lost a lot because we're all just sitting in our own bunker somewhere. Eric Ricky, yeah, I mean the proportions are way off. They're way off. Uh, like I said, the goal was not the accuracy of of the shapes. I was more thinking about the mood and the colors. But yeah, it's all messed up. It's all messed up. I knew it, and I, I just, I didn't want to touch it because I knew I would just be correcting rather than moving forward. A voodoo breakfast. If I think it's a lot of subjective art, uh, a lot of art is subjective. True, but I also don't think that you have anything to say until you are at a certain point of maturity as an artist and as a person. A child's drawing can be cute, but we add the worth, we add the complexity to it in most of the cases. But a lot of art is also pointless because you try too hard, or I don't know. It's a really weird subject. Captain Bose, yeah, I don't think ArtStation is a great way of exposure unless you build up a following. Um, but you need to post something that has a point to make, quality and subject wise, and then people will like it and they will follow you. And then next time you upload, if you space the uploads, they will be notified that you've uploaded something. So in that term, you get traffic, and ideally, you'll then every time build a higher amount of people looking at your upload, and then you'll be higher up on the trending page, and then in turn get more follows, and then. But if you mess up at some point during that steps, you're gonna fall back or reduce traffic because you did a pointless post. So you got to see it more like that, like a step ladder of only your best stuff on ArtStation. Georg, I'm not saying that there's not much true concept in the art. Um, it's just a lot of people don't understand that they have to. Hey, White Math, welcome. Cesar de Almeida. Oh, that name. Uh, this is a really tricky subject. I think that's a whole rant of itself. Eric, thanks, man. But it's a really horrible accuracy in this painting. But it's not was today. It was not about the accuracy. It was about the mood, the brushwork, and just try to get those highlights hot, and the overall brush kind of the smooth swooshiness of the reference. That's what I kind of was going for. I knew I was messing up the accuracy in terms of shapes. Hey, Timo Bay. What up? Hey, Flow Wizard. Eric, yeah, absolutely. Um, it's definitely a top 50 Captain Boss. Those highlights are really difficult. You really need to control your value range outside of the highlights in order to have them that hot and burning. But then also, because it's so saturated, you got to balance that as well. That's what I was kind of going for. Let's do a test to see. Um, Behold the wonky eyeballing. I deliberately didn't go as black in mine because I wanted to have saturation in the black, so I went with red. But yeah, the values were pretty. They're pretty in conjunction with each other. Like if you look at the cap versus the bottle versus the highlight, it's not too far off. Like I went a little bit milkier with mine because I wanted saturation in the blacks. But let's up the contrast. And it should it's probably something like that. Let's see. Let's knock back the contrast. It burns out some of the prettier values in between. So let's do half of that. Ah, it's okay. Captain Boss, yeah. Unfortunately, that is true. You can't feed your kids with happiness. They will die if they don't have actual food. All right, man. I think today was a cool little rant. We should try to come up with the topics maybe that we can rant about. Would be interesting to see. Um, who to raid? Do we have anyone that we can raid? That looks pretty sick. That looks pretty cool. World of Warcraft stuff. Hey, there's mine. A monkey. Oh, my stomach is. Let's check that World of Warcraft stuff. Nah. Let's raid Christopher Kant. Have a great day, everyone, and good night. See you guys tomorrow for the warm up. If you do the study, post it on the Discord. And when I post the link for the post of the warm up to the forum, you feel free to post it there too. So let's try to get some momentum going there on the forum. Make a profile so that you can have access to notifications and so on the forum, and then post. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Kisses, Captain Boss. Very French of you. One on the cheek, like, and then on the other side, okay, and then on the third, because we're in Europe. Fantastic. Let's raid Christopher Cat. Tomorrow I will be doing monster process for industry workshops. I was doing it yesterday at night, like breaking it down into steps, and I will rant about those steps tomorrow. But yeah, let's go raid Christopher Kant. Have a good one. Toodles, adieu.